Hi, this is Lola Laracy with Craft Beer Nation. This is Girls Pint Out, our bi-monthly girls getting together, drinking beer, talking about stuff which everybody loves, especially us. Um, we are here with a special guest. We are here with Cindy Mulcahy, and she is the owner, tell me if I'm saying it wrong,
Yep.
owner of Craft Beverage Jobs, and is it Craft Beverage Media also?
Yes. Yeah. We're craft beverage media and craft beverage jobs.
Okay, cool. And she's joining us to talk about, what she does, how she got into it. But of course, we also have our the people that we love talking to every week or every 2 weeks, Ashley Bauer and Vicki Perrigan. Um, I lost my screen, that's why I'm kind of talking in this high voice. All right, let's go ahead and start. Before we get started with Cindy, let's go ahead and talk about our beer. Ashley, what are you drinking?
Well, I haven't actually been able to get a pint yet. I was planning on drinking my homebrew though.
Oh, all right. Well,
What'd you make?
I have a lavender hefeweizen that I brewed back in March. At the time, it tasted terrible, and I thought I was going to have to drain pour it. But it's been sitting in my kegerator for 4 months, and I tried it 2 weeks ago, and it's actually really good now that it's sat for 4 months. So
now it's kind of ripened a little bit.
Sounds delicious.
It just needs to come into its own.
That's right.
It's a late bloomer
exactly.
because it's a flower.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, Ashley, let us know when you get it. If you want to step out for a moment, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay, Vicki, what are you drinking?
I'm having something sort of local. It's from New Mexico. It's the Santa Fe Java Stout.
Mm.
There we go.
Ooh, we all go, ooh.
Because I need some coffee.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, long drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm having. Nice
Okay.
and dark. Very delicious.
That looks nice. God, it looks so rich.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Got that nice
Like coffee.
ahead. I love that.
Yep.
So I know you're exhausted, Vicki, because you've been on the road, and I'm sure you're happy to be home.
Yes, I am.
When do you go back to work?
Tomorrow.
Oh, that sucks.
No rest for the wicked.
See, I can't do that. If I do something like that, I have to have a buffer day.
Yeah. No, that doesn't happen.
We're going to Atlanta in 2.5 weeks, and I made sure I have the day after off, because I will be cranky.
Yep, that's always a good plan.
Yeah, but I guess when you're, some jobs you can't. I guess they kind of want you back as soon as you can, huh?
Well, I've been gone for 4 days, and I need to check and make sure everything is okay in my store.
Okay. Are you the manager, Vicki?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. Now, Cindy, go ahead and let us know what you're drinking, and then if you want, go ahead and start talking about your business.
Sure. I picked up something at the store today that we've never seen before. It's not actually beer, but it's cider.
Okay.
And it's Samuel Smith's organic cider from the UK. Have you guys heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of it.
Okay, I've never seen it here in California, so
I'm glad it made it out there.
Oh, yeah.
Our grocery store is not that good. So when I saw something that's kind of popped out at me, I was like, oh, let's try this. So it's off dry, and it's actually really tasty. It kind of reminds me of a local kombucha that we get here. So
I don't even know what that is.
kombucha?
You don't know what kombucha is?
I'm showing my ignorance. I wave my ignorance around like it's a surrender flag. I don't care.
Oh, well, you're gonna have
It's
to.
fermented tea, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, when you boiled onto it, it's amazing, though.
Yeah, kombucha is awesome. So it's light, and it's just very delicate and it's refreshing. It was kind of a warm day, so it seemed appropriate, and it's really good. I'm glad I bought it.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's what I'm drinking, and thanks for having me on your guys' show. Good to hang out with some girls and talk about beer and craft beverage jobs, and so yeah. But Lola, you didn't tell us what you're drinking.
Oh yeah. One of my favorite breweries. I don't think I've had this one, but it's Flying Dog,
Oh, yeah.
and it's their Snake Dog IPA.
Ooh, yummy.
It's good. I like it. It's got enough bite, but it's not too bitter. Some IPAs, I'm weird. Some IPAs are like, I don't like it. I feel like I got a sock in my mouth. But this, it's just enough to where I'm like, okay, I'm tasting something. I got something here, but it's not like too much.
Right.
It's good.
Well, cool.
Hi, Cindy. Well, go ahead. Tell us, how did you get started in this? When did you get started? Just everything you want to tell us.
So Craft Beverage Jobs, we started in April. We launched on April 1st, and it was kind of funny because I've never launched a business necessarily before, and to do it on April Fool's Day kind of was a little bit of a funny joke on me because everyone thought it was funny. And was like, oh. I didn't think about that, actually. I was like, oh, yeah, like the big joke. Like, no, this is actually serious. And so it was kind of hard to have people take it seriously, but they did. And, so we launched on April 1st, and pretty much the point of it is that I've been in social media for the wine and beer world for the last couple of years, and I've always kind of been, if you talk to anyone of my friends that know me or my husband, I'm always a person that, even though I'm not looking for a job, I'm always like up to date with what jobs are out there, and I'm always helping people with their resumes and writing cover letters. And so I was always brainstorming, like, I'd love to have, an online business that kind of molded my passion for craft beverage and social media and what could be my angle, and it just seemed such like a perfect fit to make it with regards to career development. So so that was kind of the start of it, and I just kind of built a website, pretty easy using WordPress, and hatched a plan and launched it on April 1st, and within a week I was overwhelmed with interest, and I didn't really expect it to be as kind of well received as it was. And so within 2 weeks I was seeking partners to help me build the business, and we've turned it into an actual entity that's a viable business, and it's been a lot of fun, and we're growing every day and doing new things every day. And we have, like, this awesome job was posted today by the Massachusetts Beverage Alliance distributorship, which focuses on craft beverage and craft beer. So that was really fun to see them post on today. And so it's just like, every day is different, and we just help people get jobs, and we help the craft beverage industry grow. So it's fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
So I guess when I saw your thing, the first thing that came to my mind was Good Food Jobs. Did you follow them at all?
Good Food Jobs? No, I've never heard of them.
Oh my goodness. They launched in 2009, I think it was, and they're very much in the same vein, except it's all like good food, like sustainable food, and
cool.
chefs and cheesemongers, and they've had a little bit of beer in there too, but it's mostly been about food.
I'm going to check them out after we get off this. That's cool.
Yeah, you've got to, because you're about along that same line of thought and thinking.
Yeah, there's we're not the only ones out there. There's definitely other job resources for people that want to get into it, but we wanted to carve a niche that was
you're totally hitting a niche that wasn't hit.
Yeah, so it's specific to everyone wanting to come together, and so it's really fun. We're going to launch a Twitter chat starting next week that's all about craft beverage. So there's Twitter chats, there's beer chat, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday night. There's a wine chat somewhere in there, and there's a regional wine chats, and I'm sure there's like a whiskey chat out there too. But this is going to be the first effort to get everyone talking at the same time about their love of craft beverage. So it's pretty fun.
Excellent.
Are you going to use like a hashtag, or how?
Yeah, we have. It's kind of a long one. I couldn't really figure out. You want something to be catchy and short and sweet, but it's Craft Bev Chat, so hashtag Craft Bev Chat. So it works. It's good. And we've got we're working with this. There's awesome graphic designers out of North Carolina that we've met online, and they designed Buttermilk Creative. They designed our logo for the Twitter chat. So I don't think I've seen a Twitter chat that has their own cool logo, but we do.
Excellent.
We're excited. Yeah.
No, I like it. Beverages encompasses everything, and I know soda is taken off like crazy in the past 18 months, at least here in South Carolina.
Yeah. I have all the Google alerts set up, so I get emails to my account every day for different keywords, and craft soda is one of them. And And there was like a huge flurry of interest in craft soda about a week ago. So I love that. And we're going to actually, we have, hopefully, fingers crossed, we've got a friend of one of our partners. They've got a 15-year-old son, I think. I forget his name. But he's going to be doing monthly blog posts on craft soda. So it's going to be fun to have, a guest contributor to the Craft Beverage Jobs blog talk about craft soda, because you don't really hear people talking about that, and it is growing. It's the segment that is kind of taking off.
Yeah, we've got one out of Charleston, Canberra, and they've got some taps actually here in Columbia at the beer stores.
Nice.
And my husband wanted to show off. He's been brewing his own soda here.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Yeah, he made his own orange soda, and he's made his own root beer and cream soda.
Nice, yummy.
And it's good for people who maybe don't like alcohol. I don't understand, but it gives them something to do while the grown-ups are drinking their beer.
That's right.
I mean, they gotta have something to keep them occupied.
Well, I have to say a lot of the Canberra stuff is great mixed with liquor. I mean, I don't drink liquor, so I don't say that from firsthand experience, but I've heard people mixing it with all the different liquor drinks and Moscow mules, things like that are really popular right now.
Yeah.
Actually, that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yesterday, I have like this margarita mix, the stuff you buy in the grocery store, and I put it with some tequila, and I was like dancing around the house and everything. Put some homemade soda, and that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My son would love that. Homemade soda.
And it's really not that hard to make. When I built this kegerator, I had 4 taps, and one of them was strictly for soda. So we have a way to carbonate. But even if you can't carbonate with the tap, you can carbonate with yeast, and you don't make it's just a tiny bit of alcohol. It's really not that big a deal.
Mm-hmm. Neat. Yeah, we should all make our own sodas and come back and taste them.
So, do you need special equipment? Or
Not at all.
No.
No, you just get the little extract kit, and you boil some water and boil down some sugar and mix the two together, and then you can either, like I said, pitch some yeast on there, and you'll get carbonation that way, or you can do what we do with we've got a kegerator, so we just force carb it.
Yeah, well, I wonder if the soda movement is kind of being spurred on by those SodaStream things.
Probably.
I never used one, but they're those countertop soda things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For people
I
to play around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen any jobs out there for craft soda yet, but mark my words.
It'll be there.
World.
Yeah.
I could see that at Disney World.
Right, yeah. Then they're going to call it the gateway drug.
I know. Well, it's the gateway beer. It's the new gateway beer.
Gateway beer, that's a better word.
It used to be Corona, now it's soda.
Yep.
Gateway beverage. You're getting them young. You
I
got
know.
You got a 15-year-old blogger.
I know, gosh.
Get them now, and you got them for life.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. You throw in your base now.
So you got to interview the owners of Full Steam a month ago, right?
Yeah, Sean. Yep, and I heard you guys were out there not too long ago. A group of you guys from.
Yeah, we got
community.
a visit.
Yeah, he was really cool. He's an awesome guy. He's very passionate and knows what he's talking about, and it was a fun interview, and it was really cool. That was the first time that we've done kind of a recruitment video so there are people, one of the tricks that recruiters will tell job applicants to do is to do a YouTube video of yourself, and to sell yourself to a potential employer, and so they get a sense of who you are. But what we did was we did it without even realizing it, and we did it in the reverse, and we interviewed the employer on video and put that out there, and all of a sudden all these people got to get a sense of who Sean was and what the culture of Full Steam was, and the people were freaking out. They're like, we want to work there, so it was really cool to see that sort of response. So we're going to definitely do more of that kind of reverse recruiting and really sell, the employers on people that would maybe want to work. And it gives people a really good insight into, okay, this employer specifically wants X, Y, Z, and they can communicate those needs a lot better in video than just saying it on the job description. So it worked really well. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, their brewery is really cool. They've got like ping pong and air hockey and a bunch of pinball tables and.
Yeah, seems like a fun guy. So, and a fun place to go taste beer and drink beer.
Yeah, and their beer is great.
Yeah, and I love on their website they've just got, you know, they're pretty upfront with like their family disclaimer. Like they welcome kids, but they're like, well, we're an establishment for adults. So like I think after like a certain period of time, they're just like, kids got to go after 8.
Yeah. You don't want the kids there too late when people start really acting out and everything.
Yeah.
No.
Because there's a point where I can't censor my mouth anymore. It's usually around the 3rd beer. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what I want, when I want, to whom I want, and I don't care. Unless it's a cough. If it's a cough, I just won't say anything.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, my half of Vazen, I don't know if you can see it, but it's more like a crystal Vazen at this point because it's kind of settled out.
It's pretty.
It is pretty.
Very pretty.
It's all lavender in the aroma and lavender in the finish.
Nice.
Now, will you have enough? Will you have enough for Dragon Con?
I'll try to bring that 2-liter thing.
Okay.
It has a special cap on it, so you can pour it like a growler, but then carb it.
Okay.
But that's about all I can really bring.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, we still need to talk about what we're bringing, just to make sure that I don't bring something that you hate, or something that you're tired of. So we'll do that. I'm gonna write it down and put it on the Google Plus.
Cool.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, Lola was telling me about Dragon Con. It sounds like quite an adventure. I'm kind of jealous.
It is a crazy fun event for every kind of geek you can be, including beer geek. I've got a bottle share group I do with every year in the game room, and I'm also a board gamer, so that's why we go. But there's a lot of beer people too.
Nice. Sounds like fun.
And last year we broadcasted for the Friday night hangout from there.
We did in the game room.
Fun. I know, and we had Rosie the Riveter come over. And a guy with Google Glass back when I'd never seen Google Glass and it was still new.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yeah, and I can't believe how many people go to that thing. 50,000 or something? That's insane.
Yeah, we had 53.5 last year, I think.
Is it always in Atlanta?
Yeah, it's always in Atlanta on Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 hotels. Isn't that right, Ashley?
Yep, 5 hotels.
Including another building for the vendors.
Yep.
So it's basically all of downtown Atlanta.
Sounds like a zoo.
It's a 5-day party with 50,000 of your closest friends.
You know, that's like the East Coast version of Burning Man that happens at the same time.
It kind of is. And a friend of mine went to Burning Man, and he's gone to Dragon Con. He said he liked Burning Man better because, it wasn't in hotels, but it was otherwise he loved Dragon Con.
Interesting. Fun.
Yeah. It really is one big party.
Yeah, it is. And, I mean, there's always people around. There's always stuff to do. I mean, I go to sleep early because that's just who I am nowadays. But if I wanted to, I could stay out and do stuff. And we're trying to experiment. We're staying off-site. We're staying at the airport because we waited too long to get a hotel room. So we're going to be taking the subway there.
It'll be all right.
We'll see. If I get lost, I'm going to be so upset. I hope I don't get lost.
You'll be fine, Lola. You'll be fine.
We'll see. If I get a signal, I'll be tweeting and Google Plusing. I'll be like, somebody come get me. I'm underground and I'm trapped and I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Hopefully that won't happen.
So are either of you interested in a craft beer job?
Oh.
That might be fun. I don't know what I would do. I'm not really much of a salesman. It's not what I like to do, so I don't know if I would be able to do like what you do, Ashley. And
what do you do now, Victoria?
I'm a manager for retail and retail.
Well, so you manage sales.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's lots of opportunities for something like that, and if it's not at a brewery specifically, there's a lot of like craft beer shops and retail outlets for that.
Right. I love to talk about beer, and I love to educate people about craft beer, and I'm pretty enthusiastic about local craft beer, but so far I don't know how I would translate that into a paying gig.
Yeah.
You could work at Total
Maybe someday. Oh, I've thought about it, but yeah, I don't know.
At where? I didn't hear that one.
Total Wine.
Oh yeah, they've got that in Southern California. That place is huge.
Yeah,
huge.
They're big. Yeah, they're pretty big.
They've got like eight rows of beer in mine. Anyways. Like,
wow.
Oh my god, I know. I go in there and I just stand and I just kind of look around. I'm like, I just want one of each. I'll get like one of each thing, and I'm like, and then my boyfriend just stares at me because I come out having spent $60.
It's easy to do.
I know. I'm like, but I got a basket full of stuff. See, I got tons of stuff. It'll last me a while.
Yeah.
What about you, Lola? Would you ever want to work in the beer industry?
Maybe. It's tough for me because I don't have a car, and so I can't work late. And pretty much most of those jobs, you have to be able to work odd hours, and so I think it would be tough for me. But I don't know. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Ashley, what's you work in craft beer? What do you do?
I'm a distributor.
Okay.
We distribute for a couple of importers, and so I've got a pretty decent sized territory, and I go and visit people every week and see how they're doing and see if they need anything.
Yeah, nice.
It's awesome.
Very active, fun, social job.
Oh, I love it.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. And I guess you get to know people at the different places, so you always have an in. Like if you want to go on your own and just hang out, you know who to talk to.
Yeah. Part of the reason I got the job to begin with is because I already knew at least, I don't know, 3/4 of the people I talk to right now.
Okay.
So I was well connected in the local craft beer scene, and that helped me a lot. And then I've been a craft beer geek for a good 5 years now, so I'm pretty familiar with all the different, not just my product, but everybody else's product too. And like one of my products is still water, and a lot of times the people get still water and sweet water out of Atlanta mixed up.
I bet they do.
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, no, I don't sell that one, but I can tell you about it. I mean, it's a Bev South product, and I'll have to tell somebody else to come sell it to you, but I'll be happy to answer your questions.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
They appreciate that.
Yeah, I try to be helpful.
So, I mean, in your guys' area, in that part of the country, that might be, from my perspective, it's growing the fastest in a craft beer way. Like, I think North Carolina is leading the pack, and then South Carolina and Florida are booming.
Yeah, we've got a lot of room for growth right now here in South Carolina. Our neighbor North Carolina has over 100 breweries.
Yeah.
I think Florida has approaching 50.
Okay.
Not already established and are soon to be established. We have 19 and another, I think, 13 on the way. We're going to be over 30 by the end of the year in theory.
Wow.
So, yeah, we are growing leaps and bounds, and between, the new breweries, and then we're getting more distribution every day, and there's a lot of demand out there that is still not being met, so we've got room to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that craft beer bubble stuff.
No, I don't think so.
I don't believe so much that there's a bubble, is that it just can't continue growing at this rate with new businesses, because if new businesses kept going at this rate over like another 5 years, we would have too many small pockets of business and nobody would be making a profit.
Right.
But we've still got room to add new businesses right now, so as long as it reaches a point, and then at some point it'll just level off and the businesses that aren't making the best beer will not be around anymore. But
exactly.
Yeah. There's enough room in the market for good beer.
Yeah. I have this theory in my brain that I've never quite been able to articulate very clearly, and I'm going to try, and it's probably going to fail miserably now. But
we'll listen patiently.
You can just like, but like how Etsy, you guys are familiar with the site Etsy, that's like all, homemade craft vintage stuff. Like that's just the new thing right now is, and I think it's supported by social media and just how people have access to everything. And why not start a brewery in your local community when you have all the ways at your disposal to get the word out that you have this, beverage available for people in your neighborhood and community. You don't have to go, put ads in a newspaper and do the whole traditional way of building a business. Everything can happen kind of instantaneously, and you can use your own network of people from your Facebook to whatever, Twitter, just to grow the word and spread the word. It's so much easier now. Not that it makes it easy, but it's just easier.
Right.
So I feel like the craft beer, the number of craft beer breweries is kind of in line with the way that the online world is evolving and how people are communicating and sharing information. Like, it just makes sense that, there's this focus more towards independent, artisanal products versus products made by like one company that get distributed to the masses.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like there's this correlation between the internet and this kind of movement. I don't know. I'm probably not the only one that thinks that, or I thought of that in the beginning.
Well, you're right, because on Twitter I was talking to someone, and he's from Astoria, Queens, and I don't know anything about that area. I've never been there, but it was on Twitter, so he said, "Oh yeah, I'm down the street from this great brewery at I've forgotten the name of it already. Single Barrel something or other." And so since he at them, they got involved in the conversation. So I'm having this conversation with this person I just met at this brewery I never heard of, and now all of a sudden, I'm like, "Hey, if you ever want to be on one of our shows, this is our Twitter, blah, blah, blah." And so I've made this connection just like an accident.
Yeah.
So we're all more aware of what's out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking that it'd be hard for it to ever go back, like there's ebbs and flows in business, history repeats itself kind of stuff, but I just don't know if like it's ever going to go back. I mean, I think it'll just continue to be more hyper localized, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
That's at least the idealistic point of view, maybe, but
I definitely see that for our local Girls Pint Out, a big part of our thing is to support local businesses and to support local breweries and to support local bars and that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
And that's a big deal for us and the people that come to our events.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that's an awareness that people have nowadays that we didn't maybe have before.
Yeah. It was interesting. I was in Ireland last month, 2 months ago, and for craft beer, and like their craft beer movement is just starting. Like there's really only a handful of craft brewers, and they had this presentation about different methods of bottling and canning and whatnot, and they don't have the critical mass yet to have the small bottlers, or I'm sorry, small canners come over to Ireland and be able to, so they don't have any craft beer in cans yet. They want it badly, but they don't have enough like inventory or beer to produce in the cans and to share it, amongst all the craft brewers, and to split the costs and all the labeling and all the logistics go into that. So they're far away from having, like even the craft can movement start. So I was like thinking, the business side of me is like, I gotta go over to Ireland and start.
Gotta get a mobile cannery going right now.
I know, right? But it's funny, like how, because once you get that critical mass like there is here, like everyone can kind of get involved with that, and it kind of, it just snowballs from that. What starts here grows into that, and it's interesting to see how it's different in other places.
But then you have that critical moment, like you said, in Ireland, where they're just poised to be over the cusp, but they just need a nudge. And you can see that. And if you had, like, the resources, that would be a great time to go over there and say, "Hey, Ireland, look what I can do.
I can can all your beer."
Like they've been making beer for 300 years, and you're coming over here. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be like, "All right, can our beer for us. That's cool."
Yeah.
So Cindy, how does your website work? craft beverage jobs? Let's say I'm interested in changing my career field, and
okay.
How does that work?
So if you're a job seeker and you go on our site, you can just start looking for jobs by visiting that section of the website for job seekers. New jobs are added almost every day, and all across the country, so hopefully that just snowballs more and more and we get more and more opportunities all over the place. And you can just, if you find one that you like and you want to apply to it, just follow the prompts. Some of the employers will direct you to email them your resume and cover letter, or you can submit it through our site. And if you are an active job seeker and you want to be possibly recruited by someone in the industry, you can go to the resume section of the website, which is on the sidebar, and you can actually create a profile for yourself and upload your own resume. So it's kind of a little bit like LinkedIn, but just specifically for your passion of craft beverage, and we're trying to grow that aspect of the business. It's not very intuitive for people to like post their resumes out there online, but it's secure, and only verified employers would be able to see your resume, and then they can reach out to you if they'd like to hire you. But otherwise, if you just want to actively look on our site on a regular basis, you can subscribe to receive email notifications of when a job is posted in your regional area, or with regard to the type of beverage that you want to work in, whether that's beer or wine or spirits. So you can kind of set up email alerts, and we'll just send that stuff to you automatically, so you don't have to come back to our site every day, though we'd love you to. But so it's easy. So it's pretty straightforward. And then we've got a fun little blog. And like we're talking about, we do like interviews with brewers and business owners, and I talked with the Fermenta. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the Michigan. Michigan, it's a new women's trade group for craft beverage women.
Wow.
And I interviewed Pauline of 19, I think her last name is, and we had like a fun chat and got to talk with her about what they're doing in Michigan for women in the trade of craft beverage. And so they're really working together to try and just all work together. So that was fun. So I do interviews like that, and then we talk about jobs and careers, and you can get help on your cover letter if you want help on your cover letter. And we want to be a resource. We want to be valuable to job seekers and to employers. So
cool.
That
sounds awesome.
Have you thought about like having links to like education type things?
Yeah, one thing we do have is we're working on partnerships, and in that it's helping us spread the word about what we're doing. But one of our first partnerships is with a organization called the WISE Academy, and that WISE stands for Wine Industry Sales Education. And they're wine focused. That's kind of they're based out of Napa, California, so they're in the heart of the wine country. But they're awesome, and I've been familiar with them for years. They really know what they're doing when it comes to sales training, for especially direct to consumer sales training. So if you, they started out with wine. So if you had a tasting room for a winery, but it's all applicable to beer sales, and working in a brewery, and having a tap room, or working in direct sales, for craft beer, a bottle shop, or distiller. So we partner with them, and every Wednesday they kind of commandeer our blog, and they pretty much take their curriculum, which people usually have to pay for, and they write blog posts for us. So it's free information for people that want to come and, if you're in the industry, or you want to get into it, and you want to kind of learn how to do sales better, they're there to help. So it's really cool that we have a partner so early on that are, educational focused. But yes, we are going to do more of that kind of stuff, and I do a lot of the writing resources for, the job seeker, but always looking for more of that stuff to add to the site, just more value for people so they can come here and get something out of it every time they visit.
And that would be good for, like, say, me and Vicky, who, we don't know where we would fit in. We love beer, but unfortunately, loving beer isn't really counted as experience.
Yeah. I've had this idea, it's like kind of cheesy, but those like stupid BuzzFeed quizzes that come every day on your Facebook, like what I want to do, like one that actually is meaningful, like what is your craft beer career?
Yeah.
And you go through all these like dumb questions that are kind of fun and irreverent, and then you drill down, and then it gives you this like awesome answer. You're like, oh my god, I didn't know that I should be this.
There you go.
Yeah, I should be the graphic designer for the bottles or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I might tap some friends here to help me build something like that. I think that would be fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, you got the traditional stuff like distributor or brewery sales rep, but then, I mean, you could be the accountant for the brewery or the graphic designer. Or There's a lot of different things that go into the brewery business. So.
Yeah, so that's on my to-do list. I'll do that.
I don't. Go ahead, Vicki.
I have a friend who does. He kind of does sales, not really sales so much, but he's the beer ambassador for Mother Road up in Flagstaff. And I'm like, man, I really want your job. He does tastings, he does beer dinners, he goes to events, that's what he does. He talks about Mother Road beer. And I'm like, that's the kind of job I should have. I would like that.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few of those opportunities around. You just have to look for them, and we're hoping to get them to post on our site. But I see them almost every day where someone, you go, you kind of work regionally for a brewery, and you're in sales, but you're also in promotion.
Right.
And
public relations.
Yeah, and you go and you do tap takeovers, and you pour at events, and just allow people to have fun, and that seems like a pretty cool job.
Yep. Well, I did know somebody, I haven't seen her in years, but she works for those event type things, and she was the coordinator, and the people she hired would go to, say, I don't know, whatever, Chili's, whatever, wherever people go. I don't know where people go. And they would do like, what do you call it, beer pong? They do that, and it was a little bit too like yuppie fraternity for me. I was like, I don't look like I belong at Hooters, so I don't think it's for me. But if they had something that wasn't quite so for the college crowd, something a little more serious for the true beer geeks.
Yeah, there's craft beer ambassador, representative, whatever you want to call them, that is very much more towards the beer geek.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Well, I think we're up on half an hour now. Do you have any parting thoughts, Kathy?
I think we're all good. It's been awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. So this is Lola with Craft Beer Nation. I want to thank Vicki, Cindy, and Ashley for joining me tonight. Of course, you can find Craft Beer Nation on Stitcher, iTunes, craftbeernation.org, Google+, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. I've got it right on the top of my head. So how about one last cheers?
Woo!
Cheers!
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 All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right.